Welcome to another episode of Between Two Brokers.
Stacy's feeling sexy this morning at 10 a.m.
Okay, so today, let's talk about what happened this week.
Oh, God. We had our 17th interview for a TV show.
We're probably not even allowed to talk about that, but Erin and I get interviewed for TV shows all the time.
They never turn into anything because they always want to know what clients we're sleeping with.
Yeah.
They want
what
do we fight about?
Yeah.
Who's a skank?
Yeah.
What do we think of our competition? And we're like, that's just not us.
Right.
And maybe we're not made for Bravo.
Right. Definitely not made for Bravo. And we also lack enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So anyway, but we do, I'm feeling good. Like this one might be an actual possibility. And I think
because they don't want that.
They don't want
the trashy
that.
stuff.
Yeah. They want it to be an educational thing about like actually what's happening, which is kind of what we're all about is actually what's happening. Which like stories about buyers trying to choose between like Charleston and another location or different price points or different areas. So just really telling the story of the buyer, which I think is fascinating. And one of the reasons I'm so addicted to my job is because I like have no idea how it's going to go. Every day is a surprise for sure. So it never gets old. Anyway, so they ask you all these like interview questions and most of them, Erin and I are just used to answering most of them. But the one question that he asked was like, what was it like? Tell us a fun fact about the
other one. Yeah. Something that people may not know.
Yeah. So mine for you is that we've talked about this on the podcast before, but that you are an old lady inside of a young person's body.
That's correct.
You're married to an old man.
Well. But he's an 11-year-old
in spirit. He
older
is
man's body.
Quite youthful, but he's 17 years older than you. You love hanging out with your old neighbors.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And they're 80 and they're like my besties.
Of course they are. You dine at the hour of old people.
I sure do. And I ride my golf cart to said restaurant.
You want a mountain house, which I feel like is something, more mature. I mean, that's kind of like what you do when you're mature.
Retiring.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have kids or like, I'm kind of like, I can't relate to it.
Yeah.
And I've asked you, if you could start any business, what would you start? And you said an apron company, which I feel like that's very old lady-ish. You're also wearing socks right now.
There's an air vent at my feet.
Also at my feet, and I'm wearing 5-inch heels, and I'm always freezing.
Yeah.
So you're just old as fuck. So I thought that was like, he liked that.
You know what?
Huh.
I know my mom's listening, but there's a reason I'm old as fuck right now. And that's because I blew it out in my 20s. I aged 30 years between 18 and 25.
We hung out from when you were like 18 to 20, but not from when you were 20 to 25.
Because you were responsible. You had like a real job. You were even married.
I was.
And I was acting a fool in downtown Charleston.
Okay. Yeah. Erin used to be so fun, which is why I picked her as my business partner. And then like now every time I ask her to go to drink, she's like, I'm not drinking tonight. I don't feel like it. If you want to hang out with her, you have to come to her house and sip tea. So that's how old lady she is.
Or we have to start drinking at 4 and be done by 7.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a problem with that necessarily.
Yeah. But I used to like ride my skateboard downtown Charleston drunk off my ass at 3 a.m. just to see if anybody was like out and about that I could hang out with. And I think my body has just rebelled because it takes me a really long time to recover. And again, Mom, I'm sorry you're going to hear this story, but I'm going to share what happened when I turned 39 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
We were driving to the mountains, and we always like to stop at Greenville at this dog park bar that I've mentioned on here before. And we get there at like 5 o'clock. We're like, okay, we're going to spend an hour. Let Levi get out, stretch his legs. We'll have a glass of wine, and then we'll get some dinner and go stay where we stay always in Greenville. And the end of the hour is up, and the trivia guy shows up, and I'm like, I got to stay and play trivia. Like, that's my jam. Got second place, by the way. And before we know it, it is like 9:30, and I've had 4 different glasses of wine across the rainbow, as you like to say.
Yeah, which is so weird.
Well, I start with Chardonnay, and I did 2 rosés, and then I did a Pinot Noir, all on an empty stomach. And anyone who knows me knows that I eat every 2.5, 3 hours. So, and it wasn't high quality wine. And then, we eat like a slice of pizza at 10 o'clock, go to bed. I wake up on my birthday at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, oh God, I'm in trouble. Like, this is not going to be good. I didn't bring any of my hangover cure medicine, which is called Blowfish. They're like Alka-Seltzer drops.
Does it work?
Yes, because my hangover is mostly in my stomach. It's not really headache. I'm nauseous. I will throw up sometimes. And so it's like the bubbles really help, and it's got caffeine and like aspirin in it. And it helps me a lot. So Spence was still sleeping. I get in the car. I drive to the CVS, which is in downtown Greenville. It's 10 till 9. I go in, I get my Blowfish, I come out. I had brought a glass of water with me so that I could go ahead and get started. I drop them in. I'm sitting in my car. I think I drank it too fast because I had to open the door and throw up. People are literally walking across the street in their briefcases and suits. Like, I parked right in front of the TD Bank. People are going into the bank for work, and I am vomiting like neon yellow bile on the sidewalk at 8:58 a.m. This is why I cannot hang out anymore. It ruins my next day. So forgive me for being an old lady, but I don't have time to sacrifice.
No, this is true. Okay. So now we know why Erin's an old lady or whatever her reasons are. So what was the fun fact about me?
Is that you are the most competitive person I know, particularly when it comes to working out.
It's sports. Yeah. Sports. Physical.
Right.
I don't really feel like I'm like that at work or anything. I'm not like, oh, we got to get it or we got to,
No. But I particularly don't like working out with men, and you like love it because you like, you want to just beat them. And
I want to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says this, and I hadn't really, she's right. And then, well, you said that you were going to take up pickleball, and my comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I started playing pickleball, and rather than being like, oh, fun, how do you like it? You were like, good, let me whoop your fucking ass. And I was like, dude.
Right. So that's how I am with sports. Definitely. So I don't know. My dad just kind of like raised me to take no prisoners. We did sprints at the Sexy Gym workout, the rush class at Ethos the other day along the side of the highway, and I was only chasing the dudes. I didn't even like see the girls. I was just like, where's the next dude in front of me? I'm going to outrun him. And of course I did.
And if you take a Pilates class with Stacy, the instructor is over there like adding more springs, like
mine.
plowing on the weight, and everyone's just looking like, what is going on over there?
I just feel very physically strong.
Well, you are.
I don't know how to describe it, but so I have a funny story about this. So my ex-boyfriend was 6'5", and I'm pretty sure he played like, is it intramural basketball at College of Charleston? Like,
yeah.
What's the one below?
Club?
I don't even know. Whatever the one below. I'm pretty sure he tried out for the team, and like maybe he could have been a walk-on, but didn't. Okay, so obviously a very good basketball player and an athlete. We go stay at that hotel in Winston so Winston-Salem, where Erin and I are from, had a lot of money at one point. And there was a building that the Reynolds family probably built, and they had a basketball court and a bowling alley in the basement. So we get to this hotel and we see the basketball court, and I'm like, I'm going to beat him in basketball.
Wow. I'm glad you're so confident.
And I'm like, sure. I'm like, he's tall, but I'm fucking fast. And I am just going to go around him and I'm so much quicker than he is.
Do you know how to dribble?
Yeah, I played basketball.
You did?
I was good.
I didn't remember.
Of course I was fucking good. Anyway, so I start to dribble. He steals the ball from me and dunks on me. And that was the end of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've taken my ball and I'm going home.
But I was 100% sure that I was going to beat him. 100% sure.
Confidence is what, 80% of it?
The guy that I'm dating now is 6'4", and he's a big boy. I don't know how much he weighs, but he's a big boy. And somehow we get on to arm wrestling.
And what happened?
I decide that I'm going to arm wrestle him because I'm certain that I'm going to beat him. I'm like, I work out. He doesn't work out. Now this one, he let me go for about, 10 seconds. Like he let me think that I was, and then, he put the smack down. So anyway, they both kind of put me in my place, but I believe in myself.
Yeah, you do believe in yourself.
So that was like the funny fun fact that we learned from this interview.
Yeah. I haven't thought about this in a long time, but Spence says he first fell in love with me when I was bartending at Arts, and he was like, I would go from doing the crossword puzzle with one client to the other end of the bar and arm wrestle this one guy named Ronnie who just wanted to arm wrestle me every single day because I bartended the happy hour shift. And he was like, I just loved it because you knew everybody's drink order, but you would come over here and fill out the crossword puzzle with him, and then you'd go arm wrestle, and it was like you just never missed a beat. But one thing I do want to say that Stacy is not good at is pole dancing.
Or driving or parking.
But this is a sport.
Yeah.
Or an athletic thing.
Yeah.
We, at our old firm 10 years ago, we thought it would be a good team together time for all the girls to go take a pole dancing class. And of course, Stacy walks in thinking that she's going to
I was like, I'm going to be so fucking good at this. I should have been a stripper, really.
Yeah. But no.
No. Because
she was the worst.
Because I was the worst. I don't think so. I just have no flexibility. I could do the thing where you hung on with your leg better than anyone. Yeah. But it's just whatever. Anyway, so I'm not ever going to be a stripper. Sorry. All right. No. So that's what you learned about us. That was Fun Fact Friday, because it is Friday.
It is Friday.
So I think that's all for this episode.
Yep.
Maybe we can talk about something more intelligent the next time.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Share with all your friends. Tell everyone about this fantastic podcast, and thanks.